everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Christine and I am back from vacation. We spent about 2.5 weeks in the United States. So in today's video, I wanted to just share a little bit of a travel recap and share some of the things that I wore on vacation. So I am a little bit under the weather. I've had a little bit of a summer cold since we've been back. So please don't mind my scratchy voice. I hope that the sound comes through okay. Before we dive in, I wanted to share one of the things that I have been making. I have a new pattern coming out next week. I'm so excited. I'm really excited about this one. These are these little sleep shorts, and then the cami, I think you probably saw this in one of my most recent videos. I made the baby blue one in the slip that I sell in my slow fashion brand, Lindy. And so many people on Instagram and here on YouTube said, yes, we want the pattern. So I worked up the pattern to sell and added the little sleep shorts. And I added the cami as well because I had just done the slip before. It has a crisscross back, low back. So I'm so excited. This is going to be coming this coming week. I'm just finalizing some of the last illustrations in the instruction booklet. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm also wearing my Essex dress out of the Caffey print, which I love. And actually this one did not come with me on vacation because I had been wearing it so much before vacation that I was kind of tired of it. And I kind of missed it on vacation, but so now I'm wearing it again, of course. So this vacation was kind of a big one because it was my boyfriend who is 100% Spanish. It was his first time in the United States. And he doesn't speak any English. So just kind of pre-framing the trip like that, it was very exciting for him. And so we flew from Valencia to Amsterdam, and we had a layover in Amsterdam, and then we went direct from Amsterdam all the way to Seattle. So my parents live just about an hour outside of the city, and so we stayed with them. And it was great to see my parents, and it was great for Adrian to meet my dad. He'd already met my mom when she was here, and see where I grew up and all of that. So on one of our first days, we headed up to the city into Seattle, and we were going to visit the Space Needle, and we were taking a selfie, kind of near the Space Needle, and a woman passed, and she was like, oh, can I take your picture? And we said, sure. She was super nice, and she was chatting with us, and she said, well, I live right here, and it was this high-rise just to the side of the Space Needle. Should I have the best view of the city? If you want to come up, you can come up. And so we were like, okay. She was super nice. So maybe if I was alone, I wouldn't have gone up. But with my boyfriend, who's quite muscular, I think it was fine. So we went up, and she was lovely. We took pictures on her balcony. And on this day, I was wearing my Maiden Lane dress out of a cotton duvet. And I wore this dress so much in fact that I wanted to wear it the other day, and my boyfriend was like, haven't you worn that enough? Like, because he was like tired of seeing it, I think. But I was wearing that dress, and I absolutely love it. It was so comfortable to wear, and when on any situation that we had, it was perfect for. So we took some pictures up on her roof, and then we actually ended up having lunch with her later that day. So after that, we actually headed to the Chihuly Museum, which was so cool. It was a little bit smaller than I thought it was, but the lighting inside, the internal part of the museum, was really cool with the black, and really just highlighted the colors, and the lighting was so good with all of his sculptures. It was really fun. And of course, we went to the Pike Place Market. So I hadn't been to like downtown for several years, and I can't believe how much like the downtown area has changed and is like such a ghost town. But the Pike Place Market is still the same as it ever was. So it was really fun to see all the flowers and the throwing of the fish and all the little market vendors and all of that. It was a really fun time in the Pike Place Market. And of course, we had to go to a Mariners game. Being his first time to the US, baseball isn't something that is very popular in Europe, and so Of course, I had to take him to a baseball game. It was a little bit boring, but it was still really, really fun to experience baseball. And we spent one whole day. We drove up to Mount Rainier, and we hiked all the way up almost to Camp Muir. So there was a ton of snow up there. I think it maybe took us like 3 hours or so to get up there. And once we got to a certain level, there was really not that many people at all up there. And we spent just a really, really kind of tough day, but a really beautiful day up on Mount Rainier. And then our final day, my friend Kirsten, who has a yoga studio called Yoga Culture in Enumclaw, Washington, where I go when I'm there staying with my parents, usually for Expo. She invited us over to Deep Lake for some paddleboarding. So we spent the afternoon with her on the lake. It was super fun, and she has a really cute dog named Murphy. So that was a really fun day. And then we sadly had to say goodbye to my parents, and we headed off to New York. This was my first time back to New York since 2018. So pre-COVID, I actually had a trip planned for April of 2019, but of course it got canceled. So, and I just kind of got out of the rhythm of going to New York. And so this was my first time back. It was really, really great to be back in New York. And on our first day, we actually went right to my storage unit. Yes, I still have a storage unit. I was supposed to take care of that in my trip in 2019. It got canceled. And so it's just been sitting there. I filled an entire large check suitcase with a ton of beautiful clothes. I was like Christmas going through my old life, in my old fashion life, with some of these beautiful clothes. So I was kind of thinking maybe I would do a video sharing the things I brought home. I have some furs and lots of like really beautiful designer pieces. So if you would be interested in that video, definitely drop me a comment below, and I'll see about making that video. So then New York City was all about friends. So we got to see so many of my friends that I haven't seen in so long. We went to dinner with everyone, and my friend Lynn invited us over before dinner to her rooftop in, I guess you'd say, Chelsea area. And so she definitely has the best views in Manhattan. And I was once again wearing my Maiden Lane, the red dress that I made from a duvet cover. I love that dress. On Sunday, we had brunch at my friend Joe's house with him and his husband, Schumann. And I wore another Maiden Lane that I made from 4 different men's shirts. So this was the perfect little brunch dress. It really is like such a good summer dress. And we had a really nice time with Joe at his apartment on the Upper West Side. And then we saw my friend Adam, who I hadn't seen in so long. And we actually ended up renting bikes and biking all around Central Park. I didn't wear anything that I had made that day because it was more sporty. But just to mention, it was such a fun day. So then we did some other things. We went, my boyfriend really wanted to take pictures at the Brooklyn Bridge. So we got dressed up, and I wore another Maiden Lane, this time the View B with the full skirt. And we took some pictures. He wore a vest, one of the linen vests that I made him. There were so many people on the Brooklyn Bridge. It was like just insanely crowded. So we brought a change of clothes in his backpack, and then we walked all the way over to Dumbo and had lunch and kind of spent the day under the Manhattan Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge. And I wore, if you remember last year, I made a 2-piece set out of a duvet cover using my Manhattan top pattern, which is a free pattern. I'll drop it in the description box below. And then I self-drafted a skirt. And I actually do have a video doing this, so I'll drop the video as well if you want to see how I did it. I ended up just wearing the skirt this time with a white tank top, and the skirt was so cool and breezy and nice. And it photographed kind of nicely as well. And then another day we had to go to the Plaza Hotel. I had to show him the most beautiful hotel. And I was wearing that day my Astor skirt out of viscose challis. So this was another skirt that was just like really cool, easy to wear with a tank top. So that I was really, really glad I brought both of those skirts. And then of course we went fabric shopping. I could not leave New York without going fabric shopping. we hit my top 2 favorite stores, which is Daytona Trends and of course Mood. And I had the best intentions. I actually told my mom that morning, I think I'm gonna film a YouTube. But well, one, I forgot my microphone. So I kind of knew the sound wasn't gonna be so good. And then once we kind of got out and about, it was really, really hot. And I was so overwhelmed in the stores. I think like I got used to like small fabric stores and just the like vastness of Mood and just the vastness of everything. I think I got a little bit overwhelmed. So I didn't film a video, I'm sorry. But one day, maybe again, when I go back, when it's a little cooler and I'm by myself and have a little bit more just kind of time, maybe I'll do another video. I really want to do a video of fabric stores in New York. And I didn't buy anything either. I think I was just like super overwhelmed, super tired, and couldn't really decide on like any fabric because I loved everything. So it was really hard to even like pinpoint what in the world I even wanted to make. If I were to go again, I would probably have like maybe a specific pattern in mind already. Like I know I want to make an Essex dress and just look for the fabric for the Essex dress because otherwise it gets a little bit overwhelming and expensive. I was blown away at the prices, at how expensive it actually is. So it's kind of nice to know exactly how much fabric you need. And of course, I had to go to my old stomping ground, my old neighborhood on Thompson Street, right in the Washington Square Park area. Check out my old apartment from outside. And we stopped in Washington Square Park to Soho, Novita, the Bowery, all around there, and I just had such a good time exploring and hitting different restaurants and places for music. And we went to Little Italy as well. My boyfriend loved Little Italy, it was really cool overall just to see New York and Seattle, which is my hometown, through his eyes and kind of show him different places and the stories and all of that. So overall, we had a really, really great time. So it was so great to be back in New York that I have to say, I forgot how noisy New York is. And so it was just really interesting to come back after being away for so long and look at it through different eyes. As much as I love New York and miss my friends and miss some of the, like of course the fabric stores and the access to different things, I was actually really happy to come back to my quiet little city here in Valencia, my quiet apartment with no honking, and just kind of get back to life. So I'm really happy to be back, and thanks for tuning in and letting me share about my vacation. And I'll definitely be back with another video sharing about some of the things I've been making since I've been back, because I have actually been sewing quite a bit. It didn't take long for me to get back into the groove of sewing after being away so long. And let me know if you want me to do a wrap up of my storage unit as well. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.